back to Advice with Andrea, episode 2. So as you can see, the blue is gone. I do miss it. You might see some like ratchet strands left behind or whatever. But I'm back to my normal color, and I thought about getting my hair dyed blue normally, like semi-permanently, but it just didn't work with my hair, the type of hair that I have. Very sad. Very sad. But on to the actual advice. Today I want to talk about something that's very pertinent because this is back to school season. From August to September, all over the world, little kitties are running back to school that get really super stressed and really unorganized really easily, and I am here to help you with that. I have compiled a list of ways to kind of just get on top of it from the beginning. These really aren't in specific order or anything. I'm just kind of going to go through the list. They'll pop up on the screen in pretty letters, and you'll have them down below. Got it? Good. Let's go. So my first tip that I find to be super useful is to use dividers in your notebook for every subject, even when not recommended. The teacher doesn't have to tell you how to divide a notebook. If your class is split into topics, divide it by topics. Divide it by quarters or 6 weeks, or however your grading system works. Divide it by semester. Put tests in the back, put assignments in the front. Just somehow use dividers and keep it neat and orderly. I don't tend to use dividers in one notebook only, and that is my math notebook, because I find that there's a natural organization in math of notes, homework, test, next section. I would highly recommend using dividers and structuring them as you see fit. Like I said, I recommend grading periods or subjects, or just doing it like notes, assignments, tests. Simple as that. And it'll just make your notebook feel so much more organized. You have got to stay on top of that. I like to take organizational days where I kind of don't really have a lot of other homework, but I just sit down with a hole puncher and I go through my notebooks and I make sure that they're organized. I find that to be really helpful. Maybe doing that once a week or bi-weekly would really help with your organization and help you stay on top of things, because cleanliness is next to godliness, or whatever that saying is. This next tip is actually very related to that one, and that is to have a file on your computer in your documents section for every school subject, for every area of school. I'm an IB, so I like to split mine into essays, IAs, EE, CAS, but for somebody that's not an IB, you could just do like English, math, history, psychology, economics, just like that. Inside of those folders, if you want to organize it even more, go ahead. It's really up to you. I tend to be very organizational when it comes to the computer because it's just so easy. Right click, new folder. Boom. You're on your way. And again, it will just make your mind feel less cluttered, and you'll just have stuff right there. So I highly, highly recommend that you get organized in this way. I also recommend in this next tip that you have someplace in your house, maybe in your room, maybe in your dining room, maybe in your family room, maybe in your computer room, wherever, where you organize your things for school. Now, a little nightstand that's in my living room. It used to be in my room, and then I outgrew it, so now it's in my living room. And I like to put my textbooks and my folders in there so that I can just easily grab them when I'm preparing for school. It's not going to help you to have everything just all over the place and you're running around frantically trying to find a notebook that you can't find, or you're running around trying to find a textbook that you can't find. It's just not going to help you. Set aside a place where you can just keep your school stuff. Organize it however you wish. Again, I organize mine with textbooks on one little shelf and folders, binders on the other. But however you see fit, just do it. It'll make your mind feel less cluttered. Cleanliness is next to godliness, whatever. This next tip is something that I want you to take very seriously, because this culture has a problem with romanticizing procrastination. Everybody likes to make jokes about it. Millions of Tumblr posts about it. Facebook statuses. Every time something big is due, people procrastinate. Don't let yourself do that. Don't romanticize procrastination. Don't let that get you. Get your stuff done. I work on a block schedule, so I always have a few days of like padding to get things done. So if you have a block schedule, don't wait till the night before your block. You don't have to do it as soon as it's assigned. Like, obviously that's recommended, but if you just want to do like something else that night, or you just are not in the mood for homework and that's really the only thing you have to do, you can put it off. But don't put it off to the last minute. I cannot stress that enough. It may seem like you're spending more time on schoolwork in the beginning, but you will find that not procrastinating actually leads to more free time. It's really cool. And you'll just feel so much less stress. I just cannot stress this enough. Do not procrastinate. Don't let this culture of procrastination, romanticization get to you. Do your work. Stay organized. It will just reduce stress so much. And if you're anything like me, you get stressed very easily. And school is a huge stressor. Next one is another thing that the society loves to romanticize, and that is sleeping. Get enough sleep. You don't have to get 8 hours. If your schedule can't fit 8 hours, get 7.5. If your schedule can't fit 7.5 hours, get 7. Just don't get 4, don't get 5, don't get 6. Give yourself enough sleep. You'll do better in school, you'll feel better, you'll be a safer driver if you're driving. You won't have to take a nap when you get home so you can work on homework or have free time. Sleeping is difficult for me, but I have to try. I have to put an effort towards it. And I've actually been finding that I've not been able to take naps because I got out of the pattern of taking naps. Sleep is awesome, but don't believe in that I'll sleep when I'm dead stuff. Just don't believe in it. You're gonna prolong your death if you actually get enough sleep. And again, it'll just help you stay organized and stay on top of stuff, and that is important in running out the gate for school. Right, this next thing is something that I am guilty of not doing enough because it just seems like such a burden. But get ready for school the night before. Plan your clothes, pack your backpack. If you bring a water bottle to school, make sure you have water in the fridge. If you bring a thermos, make sure that your thermos is clean, or whatever else you need to do to a thermos. I don't know, because I bring a water bottle. Make sure that you have clean clothes, that you know where your shoes are, that you know where the accessories you're going to wear are, that you know where everything is. Because then when you get up in the morning, maybe you don't have to get up as early. I personally like to get up early because I like to see my mom and I like to see my rabbit, and I just like to have that little free time before school. But if you're not one of those people, then I understand, and getting ready the night before will give you more time to sleep in the morning. So it will help you just feel more at peace in the morning. You won't be running around frantically. You'll have time to eat breakfast, which is extremely important, but this is not the video to talk about that. So pack your stuff the night before, plan your outfit, do basically everything you can the night before so that in the morning you're not overstressed and you have that extra cushioning, so that if you miss your alarm and you wake up 10 minutes late, you don't have to worry because you have everything ready. This next step is very helpful, and this is something that they have stressed several times in my high school and my program. I don't know if they stressed it in yours, but use some form of a planner. I don't care if you're just writing what you're going to do on a piece of paper. I personally have made my own little schedule because I work on a block schedule, and planners that they sell really aren't made for those. So I went on Excel and just made a really simple schedule that I kind of fill in every couple of weeks, print some new ones out, fill it in, I'm good to go. If you work on just a straight 7 or a straight 6 or whatever, just go to somewhere and buy a cheap planner and use it. You won't forget your homework because you're writing it down as soon as the teacher says it. And it'll remind you of anything. I like to use mine. I schedule my cello appointments. I schedule in when I have meetings after school. It's just really helpful to not forget things because the human mind is forgetful. I like to think that I don't forget homework, but I know that if I don't use a planner, I will probably forget a few pieces of homework every now and then. So even if you think that you're like the least forgetful person ever, use a planner. And again, it's going to help you feel organized and zen and calm and centered. And when you're facing school, that is so important. Beyond important. Especially when you're in a program like me that is very academically rigorous and you don't have time to get caught slipping. So don't slip. Don't let yourself get caught slipping. Use a planner. And this is my last tip, and it's my go-to thing. And I'm just going to leave you with it. When in doubt, make a to-do list. I don't care if you don't look at it ever again in your life. I don't care if you make it and you immediately throw it away. Just sit down. If you feel overwhelmed, if you don't know what you really have to do, consult your planner, consult your own brain, sit down, make a to-do list on lined paper with little boxes next to them that if you do consult back to it later, you can then check off. You'll feel satisfied when you do that, and it will just help you center and help you put into perspective all the things that you need to do for that day. or the next day or whatever. I am a big believer in to-do lists, believe me. It helps me prioritize, it helps me plan, and it just helps me feel better. And you should really take these tips to heart because I get stressed extremely easily. I'm a very high-strung person. I am a perfectionist. I'm not a type A personality, even though I may come off like that, but I am a perfectionist, and I do have problems with organization. But these are the tips I have found in my schooling career. I am a senior. I am well educated on the education system that help me. If you're constantly feeling just like you're floating through a sea of school assignments and stress, take a Saturday, take a few hours out of your Saturday, because honestly this doesn't take too long. Sit down with your school stuff, organize it, fill out a planner, make a to-do list, feel calm. It makes me feel calm just talking about it. So if you like this video and you want to see more like this in the future, remember to thumbs up, drop a comment, and subscribe.